video topic requests, or if you just want to let me know you rock with me, send a donation to the Cash App or one of these other places, you feel me? Much appreciated. And follow me on social media. Peace, y'all. So yesterday, in father-son bonding, me and Rich Green with our boys and shit, because, they the same age, so they get to learn the same lessons at the same time. I had an idea to have the boys watch Boyz n the Hood. I'm realizing now how great, I always knew Boyz n the Hood was a great movie. I always go back to watch Boyz n the Hood several times a year, but yesterday was the first time I watched Boyz n the Hood with my sons, and man, watching that shit as a father with my sons and us pausing the video to explain to them what's going on and checking their comprehension, timeless, priceless situation. I recommend all fathers, especially black fathers, you gotta watch Boyz n the Hood with your sons. You have to explain to them. You gotta pause the movie every now and then to explain to them what's going on. It's a genius movie. It's a genius movie full of a lot of messages, and that's one of the strongest forms. That movie had one of the strongest forms of a black father that I probably, when I'm thinking about it, ever seen on television. Ever, you know what I'm saying? And that goes to show a lot. And what's crazy is it took a black director, right, and screenwriter by the name of John Singleton to make that movie. You're probably never gonna see a movie produced by a white-owned production company that's gonna have anything like the father, who Furious Styles, who was played by Lawrence Fishburne, right, in Boyz n the Hood. Okay, this father right here is a father that I aspire to be. This father here is a father that all of us black children needed as a child. Just going from the beginning of the movie and watching it with my kids is just like this. There's a kid, young, troubled, right? Troubled, but already has a certain level of intelligence, right? So he's walking around the hood. There is a boy from his classroom who he with, and two girls, they walking around. They go past the yellow tape. There's a dead body. So already, realistically, you seeing that these black kids are seeing a dead body in the street on their way to school. And then you got the young kid already talking about all this gangster stuff and all of that. And I'm watching it and I'm like, a kid his age, how they looked in that movie, which was probably like between 10 and 13, is like, that kid is done. He's talking about he from Crenshaw Mafia and talking about guns and all this other stuff. You feel me? Like, it's just crazy. And then they keep going, and then they get to the classroom. And then Trey, who's the main character, right? Trey, he gets into an argument with that same boy in the classroom because he goes to the front of the classroom and, he points a stick at Africa. He says, hey, the oldest human bones were found in Africa, so technically everyone is from Africa. And then the ignorance of his friend saying, hey, use the African booty scratcher. I ain't from Africa. You know what I'm saying? That just already shows the lack of knowledge of self that a lot of us have in our communities, And then they got into a fight, and then you see that Trey was getting into a lot of fights and he was going down a dark path, and his mother, who wanted to save his life, made the very wise decision of sending young Trey Styles to his father, Furious Styles' house, right? Now, immediately you see, when she take him to the house, you can already see that that his mom is, you know what I'm saying, she's not like a hood rat. She literally cares about her son and literally wants the best for him and knows that currently the best for this young child who's about to be a teenager is for him to be with his dad, right? She takes him to his dad, and it's like, while I'm watching this, I'm like, I could possibly have to deal with this as my kids getting older, you know? I could possibly be dealing with this where my kid might start acting out and I'll have to have a talk with their mom and be like, hey, listen, the boy needs some straightening. He needs some straightening, and the only kind of straightening that he could get that's useful is from his father. Because you ain't strong enough to do it and you ain't got the guts to do it. He needs discipline. He needs responsibilities. He needs chores. He needs a foot in his ass every now and then. You ain't got the guts. You ain't got the strength to do that. You ain't got the testicular fortitude to do that, right? And as I'm just watching this movie, first of all, the first half an hour of this movie, where you got Furious Styles, first off, dealing with Trey, making Trey understand what a man is, making Trey understand that he has responsibilities and rules, educating him about sex and all of that, right? And then it goes to how they got their young friends, they already starting to get involved in the streets, right? It's just so real. And then as I'm watching it with my sons, I'm like, yo, listen, see what happened to young Doughboy and Chris? They ain't have no money. They went to the store. They robbed the store. Look, and now they're going to jail. That's what happened to us. Y'all want to rob people? Y'all want to do crimes? This is what's going to happen to y'all, you know what I'm saying? And watching how they understanding, you feel me? Like, yes, it's a fair amount of violence in this movie, but I really feel like other than this movie being entertaining, this movie is very educational, you know, because it shows young black kids, especially boys, that there's more than one option to go. You don't have to sell drugs. You don't have to be in a gang. You don't have to shoot people. You know what I'm saying? There's another way. You can go to school. You get an education. You could work. You could start a business. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just ill. And then it also shows the pitfalls of being in the streets is you could be associated to somebody that's in the streets doing all this stuff, and because of that, you could get murdered behind it. You know what I'm saying? Just like Doughboy's brother, Ricky. You know, it shows you, like literally explaining to them, like, yo, look, he played football. He wanted to go to school. All he had to do was get above 700 on his SATs and he was good. And then showing how he got murdered because of where he from and the fact that he didn't leave the hood earlier, right? And now look, he had a baby. His baby is fatherless now. He got murdered strictly because of his associations. He had all the potential in the world, but his associations brought him under. Just exposing the real ignorance of the streets to my children, you know what I'm saying? Like it was different. Like, I had a different feeling watching that movie that I never, ever had. Like, ever had watching it by myself. And I watched that movie hundreds of times while my kids existed, but I never watched it with them, you know? Like that shit was just, I had a different feel. I felt like as a father, I accomplished something by watching this movie with my kids and explaining to them all the little details, all the little things about everything that's going on, you know what I'm saying? And let them watch the sex scene. Let them watch a little bit of a nipple. Why? Because I want to make sure they like titties. That's why. What the fuck you niggas gonna do? Call CPS? Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? They want our boys to be princesses. They want our boys to think about other boys. No. Think about this titty on this screen, man. Nia Long, right? Look at fine ass Nia Long. Not Nia Boy, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? But sidebar, if that's what you into, that's what you into. But do I want that for my children? No. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like that was legendary, you know. Watching Boyz in the Hood. Watching Boyz in the Hood is different when you got your kids with you. It's really different. Like, it was something different in my spirit, you know, like all the subliminal messages. Like, you can really tell that somebody somebody was intelligent who made this movie, you know? Somebody who really cares about his people is who made this movie, you know? Like, it was special. It was special. Like that other than actually getting my kids, that's so far the highlight of my summer with them. Like, for real. I suggest, if you haven't done that already, watch Boyz n the Hood with your children, where they at an age where they can literally understand what's going on and have a conversation with you about what's going on in the movie. Go out of your way to pause certain important parts and make sure they understand what's going on. That's my suggestion. Like I said, it's going to do something to your spirit. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.